One of the top pieces of advice that I received as marriage advice as a newlywed was keep God first in your marriage. That's such great advice, except for the fact that you can't keep God first if he was never first to begin with. That advice is useless for somebody in an unauthorized marriage. Because the reality of it is, what if God was not first in your life before you got married as individuals? What if God was never first in your life? Then how in the world is he going to be first in your marriage? People think that keeping him first means that you pray over your marriage, that you decide that you want to ask God to bless your marriage. But the reality of it is that if he didn't bless your ability to even date that person, your desire to date them, if he didn't choose them, then asking him to bless it after you already married them is a little late. So I don't believe that that's the best marriage advice. As a matter of fact, I believe the best marriage advice can only be received prior to getting married. And that advice is choose wisely. As a matter of fact, don't choose at all. Just let God choose. If he has not given you his specific direction, instruction, and permission to even date that person, then why are we even having this conversation? Living as a believer means that God is the Lord of your life. If he is the Lord of your life, then he will be the Lord of your marriage. You won't have to try to keep him first because he is first. When God says, I am who I am, he is first, whether we keep him first or not. So, if you want my advice, the best marriage advice I can give you is choose wisely. Choose God to be first in your life.
Was finding it's such a disconnect between the person that I knew God to be and the toxic marriage that I was in. I felt like, here is the kind of person that you are. You love me. You love me so much that you were willing to send your only son to die for me. You care about the things that concern me. You are, in love with me. And yet I'm sitting in this toxic marriage feeling like it's your will for me to be here, feeling like I'm, miserable and hurting and feeling like you want me to stay here, right? There was such a disconnect between those two things. And